also SDF Computer Museum, which is also known as the Interim Computer Museum. And we're down in Tukwila. We're open 2 days a week, Sunday and Monday. Mondays, if you go to icm.museum, you can find more information, or if you go to sdf.org, you can also get information there. SDF is sponsoring Robert Bernardo's event. Or is this Fresno Commodore User Group event, or is it yours? Never mind.
It belongs to all of us.
That's right.
Either way, if you'd like to support QR codes around where you can make donations. Otherwise, this is a free event, and plus we got the free raffle for the C64, or yeah, the C64C, which is sitting over there on the pedestal. So I'm going to demonstrate C64 OS. Does anybody here have C64 OS now?
Know about it.
It's like
But have done have.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So it's basically a file browser and graphical user interface for the Commodore 64. The minimal configuration to make it work for you is to have a SD to IEC, which I have here, and Jiffy DOS. If you got Jiffy DOS, so you're probably familiar with this boot screen here. The other thing that I'm going to demonstrate is the TeensyROM, which is Travis
Smith.
Yes, and
Sensorium.
Sensorium. There we go. And this is, I just picked this up last ICF, I think, or actually last year, right? And this is basically a little microcontroller with, it's got an SD card reader, USB, built-in file browser, which is nice, and then Ethernet. So I've got a driver for C64 OS, which is a beta, that'll let me use the Ethernet. Seen first here. So when you turn it on, the first thing that comes up is going to be the TeensyROM file browser. And here there's a SID player, all sorts of stuff. It just queried the network to get the time, so it knows that it's 1308. And then I'll go ahead and go back to basic here so that I can load C64 OS. Now you can see the boot sequence here. So C64 OS remembers the last application that you load. You either have the app launcher, which provides you with a desktop and then links to files and programs, applications, or you have the file browser. So we're going to boot into the app launcher, and the app launcher provides you with 5 desktops. So this first desktop that comes up, showing loading the modules here. The drivers, the utilities. Here we go. All right, so this is my desktop here for C64 OS. I've got a hamburger menu up here in the left. It tells us about this app. And wait a little bit. There we go. It tells me I'm running app launcher and then the version. This is not a free operating system. It's well worth the price. It's not that expensive. Updates are free though. And Gregory Nasu, I have only one business card here, so you're welcome to take a picture of it. But Gregory just does some incredible work. And posts videos and tutorials on YouTube, which are quite good. So I got the hamburger there with a couple of options I can go through. File operation menu, some options. I can get back to basic, and then I can switch between desktops. Now there's also a way to switch between desktops using hotkeys, so you don't have to mouse around. But he's actually in this new version, 1.07, and maybe even before then, he's really got the mouse stuff working pretty good. All of these that you see here are selectable. In fact, I can just select chess here, and I can drag and drop it around. it's choppy, but it's cool that you can do that. And then these go into different utilities. For instance, there's an image gallery. And then I've got time here. Now, it would use RTC that I think uses the user port, so it's not using the TeensyROM's time. It is using TeensyROM network though. So there's a status bar down at the bottom, shows me I'm offline. If I click on it, it shows me my current directory, basically the device, and then directory on the SD card. And then click it again, it shows me I'm running App Launcher. And then back to this one with the status, it shows me I'm using 19K of RAM to have everything that I have right now. So let's see, let's switch a desktop. See how fast that is. It's all dependent on this guy. There we go, so now I have another desktop with a different theme. And these are customizable as well. In fact, Greg has a tutorial of how to customize the desktop to get whatever applications and shortcuts or links or whatever you want to have on your desktop to run programs. The one thing I want to show is, I'm going to go into the file manager now. And if you have something like an REU, you can get much faster performance. I can take advantage of an REU. Okay, so this is the file browser here. It remembers recents. Like for instance, we were installing Solitaire earlier, and it shows up there. If I want to go to, let's see. Right. What I want to do is I want to fire up Wikipedia.
Oh.
What was that? So this is the Wikipedia application. All right. Now I've already configured the network interface. So now that I'm using an application that needs a network, it goes ahead and tells me that I'm online. So I can come up here and type in Commodore 64. And search. And let's see what candidates we get. Using 9K. And TeensyROM's blinking away. Okay, there we go. Now we brought up the C64 Wikipedia page, which has been processed by Greg's service. He runs a service that you link into, and then you're able to pull this data down. So you can see all my tags over here on the left-hand side, and you can scroll through and read about the great Commodore company and Commodore 64. There's information about the VIC-20 and the PET. You can click on links in there, and then it'll go and dial up. Now I'm looking at the VIC-20 page, or at least the section under Commodore. So you can see that it's pretty responsive as far as that's concerned. Let's go try something like 8-bit, a little more generic, and see what it pulls.
Does anyone remember how fast the 60 in the C64 ran?
1 point something megahertz.
1 megahertz.
Yeah, and you can use this with
for the
the,
PAT,
yes,
1.2 for the NTSC.
right.
Okay.
And yeah, so
1.02.
if you have a tricked out 64, this thing can take advantage of an accelerator. It can take advantage of an REU with bank switching, and so I wanted to show it as the minimal configuration with, you definitely need the SD to IEC. You can't install it on a 1541, although people have asked, you know. It's just like, no, you need at least this minimal configuration with Jiffy DOS. Let's go back. So I want to. I'm going to bring up the settings menu just so you see that a little bit, see how the network stuff is done. All right, so we go to settings. And now this is going to give me a little pop-up window. There we go. And then, for instance, I've got information, themes, drives, things like that. I'm going to go look at network. There's already support for several different drivers. So this is the beta driver I've got now, which works with the beta firmware for the TeensyROM. Both of these are supposed to be released fairly soon. So if you have this configuration, you'll be able to get on Wikipedia and do other things as well. So there has Wi-Fi configuration as well. TeensyROM does not use Wi-Fi, so you put in a filler information. And then, of course, the Greg's Commodore Network service here, where I've logged into that, and I'm able to use that. So that's kind of what that looks like. And then I want to go to, let's go back to App Launcher. I want to try to find its party trick. I probably could have done it from here, but I didn't do it. Go to the gallery, and gallery is an application. It's an image viewer. So for instance, let's see, he's got things broken out by categories. So let's look at starships. It tells me information about the image. Okay, but where's the image? Well, you go down to the status bar and you pull it up, and here's your image. Yeah, so we can start a slideshow now. I go here, set it to 5 seconds. Actually, I can walk through them here. All right, here we go. It's loading the image, and there we go. 5 seconds is a little fast for it, but it brings the summary screen back down, and then it shades it back up, opens the shade back up so you can see the image. But if you're in there, you can, you can drag this still, see the between the two pages. So yeah, it is pretty cool. So that's basically the demo I wanted to show. I'm not an expert on this at all, but I think it's really amazing, and I've been following it since version 1 is released. This is 1.07. Like I said, 1.08 is going to have these updates in it with the TeensyROM support. And if you buy a TeensyROM, you're supporting someone in the Pacific Northwest, so that's cool. And then the other thing I was going to mention is that ICM is open tomorrow, so 10 to 5. If you want to drop by, we're down in Tukwila, let me know. And thank you, everybody, for being here. If you got questions, too.
Question. So what is the TeensyROM providing? Is it providing the horsepower
just
to
network.
go through this? It's just network.
Only network, yeah. At this point, it would be cool if the Teensy could do things like REU, you know, or provide additional storage. And I don't know if that's quite working yet, where you could go into the file browser and then access either the thumb drive or the SD card on the Teensy. I don't know if that device is going to show up yet. And maybe it does, I just haven't found it yet. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions? Nope.
Okay, thank you, Stephen.
All right,
Thank you very much.
thanks.